You're here. Now what? Stick around. Pull up a chair. Pour a mug. You're having coffee with the prophet. Today, I want to talk to you about your purpose. I want to deal mainly with those that they call the baby boomers, and I might miss you by a few years. But today I want to focus mainly on the ages between 60 and 80. Those that has been through some things. You've been through some storms. And what have happened, all your life you was able to recover those storms, go through those storms and bounce back. But it seems as if the older you get, the harder they are, or the harder it is to recover. And the last one was just about ready to take you out. But if anything, today, I like to be able to speak, to prophesy, to decree life back into you. Not by entertaining you, but just having conversation and to hopefully to encourage you at the end of this, to bring some encouragement. Because I know sometimes between those years, it could seem as if, well, you know what? Everything is it's gone. Some of us, you've retired and you thought things would be a certain way, and it's not. You have lost loved ones in the midst of that, and there's a lot of things you're struggling with and you're coming up against. And what have happened over the years, even surviving that of the storms, it seems as if you've lost yourself. And what I mean by that, you've been used to pouring out and doing for everyone else. But now it's time to do for yourself. So what are you saying, prophet? In other words, I want you to start dreaming again. If anything, hopefully by the end of this, I provoke you to begin to start dreaming again, to let you know it's not too late. I'm going to use a story analogy that most of us probably know about or can relate, or at least if we don't know about a story we have ate is chicken, and that's Kentucky Fried Chicken. With him, the story goes where there's a couple of versions of the story. So, and it started when he was roughly about like 40 years old. He's this chicken recipe, he's been working on. He's been having his little store or what have you, doing certain things. It probably be more or less considered as a lunch truck or something, if you want to compare to these days, right? And but things have happened in his life, because when things really turned around, Colonel was somewhere about 64 years old. Now, I want you to think about that. Now, that's about 20 years or so. And I don't know what happened in between. You know how is that? Sometimes life get in the way. We might stop, go again, or just stay stuck. But it really began to start turning around, roundabout in his early or mid-60s. And it's a funny thing, because a lot of times, those very things seem like the things that seem as if turn out a certain way. You ever had plans on something and it wind up going totally the opposite way? Some things was meant to take you out, and you're still here. Well, anyhow, I think about time Colonel retired. He had, it says the stories, and there's a few as far as these estimates, but said something like he had $100 and something dollars per month as far as his Social Security was concerned. Uh, and obviously it wasn't enough. And I guess that's what really made him to go forward, or really to put himself into as far as now with the Kentucky Fried Chicken franchise. And at that particular time of his life, now it began to start taking off, the franchise and things of that nature. So his success came somewhere in his mid-60s. Colonel Fried Chicken in his mid-60s. And what I'm saying to you, I'm just saying that no matter how old you are, it's not too late. Don't give up on the dreams that you have. Even if there's some things that you have done in the past and they didn't turn out a certain way. Watch this. I'm reminded of this scripture. It's in Acts 2:17. And it says this: in the last days, God will pour his spirit among all flesh. Your sons and daughters shall prophesy. Young men will see visions, and old men will dream dreams. You're there stuck somewhere at the top as dreamers. It's important for you to continue to dream. The visionary, the young man who's running with the vision, needs the dreamer. He needs to be able to come to someone with some wise wisdom and some insight and tell him how things used to have been, and this knowledge that he can use and bring it forward. See, because that man who has the vision, he's going to speak to the sons and daughters who's going to prophesy. That's our future. I don't care what society have told you, made you felt as if you're old, nobody listened to you. And let me tell you something, a lot of times, the closest one to us won't listen to us. Sometimes we can't say nothing to our spouses, kids. They could take you for granted, your wisdom, your insight. I'm saying what God has put inside you, the world needs to know what you have, what you've showed up for. Don't bury your gifts, your abilities, your dreams. A lot of times it's been said this, I don't know if you heard this term, you're in the fourth quarter of your life. So I guess it actually means the last part of your life. But all I said, this is a time that now you're going to leave your legacy. All the things you've been through and what you've experienced, now you're going to collectively put these things together and share it with someone else. Your legacy going to remain. You're going to touch someone's life about how you was able to overcome. See, we're living in a time of nowadays, even with young people, there's more suicide and everything than it has ever been. People are wondering things. If you pay attention, look at politics, everything is just hopelessness. We've been there. Those baby boomers, we've been through there. We've seen some things. I'm 67 years old myself. So we've been there. We've seen some things. We understand. We know how. I heard this story or this saying. A lot of times when a young person might look, when they look in the mirror, when they look in the mirror, they see me, they see an old man. But when I look in the mirror, I see a man that survived many of storms and overcame. So I just wanted to share those things or share that thought with you for the most part. So I want to say this with you. I want to leave this with you. So now it's time for you to go in the backyard to that old barn or shed. Go pick up that old toolbox. Time to open it up and dust off those tools that you have had in there. And the first tool that I want you to pick up is that of a shovel. Why a shovel? Because now I want you to take the shovel and continue to now start digging digging hope back up again. The old saying, keep hope alive. This is not it. It's not over. This is just the beginning for you. I believe that there's going to be many books going to be written that's going to come from you. Songs that's going to be written in song. Businesses that's going to start. Fact, there's going to be a lot of YouTube channels to touch the lives of individuals. Dreamers, don't forget, the world needs you. Hey, you've been having coffee with the prophet.